Being a late bloomer taught me the value of slowing down. My name is Azriel, and I'm an actress, singer, writer, and a failed Nepo baby. While we chat, I'm going to show you how I got my Halloween makeup look, which was 90s Mary from Sinners. When you grow up with a famous father, speed is supposed to be your inheritance. Doors should open faster, callbacks should come quicker. Success should be inevitable because that's what the privilege is for, right? The privilege is supposed to help you skip the line that everyone else is standing in, kind of like when we go to Disneyland with my dad. Shout out to those VIP guides. But what no one tells you about being the daughter of a famous person is that proximity to success is not the same as success, and proximity to opportunity is not the same as support. And when you aren't supported in the ways that you hoped, and those doors don't open as easily as you thought they would, you sort of end up in this strange liminal space. You're too privileged to claim that you came from nothing, but also too unsupported to claim that the system worked for you. I am 34 now, and I'm still chasing the same dreams I've been chasing since childhood. Still posting, still auditioning, still creating, and still hoping that each project will finally be the one to be my big break. And I'll be honest, I did not expect to be 34 and still not where I want to be in my career. And for a long time, I called that failure. I even cheekily call myself a failed Nepo baby, but I am learning to call it something else. I was raised Christian and I was deeply devoted to my faith. I was even prophesied over as a child and told that my gifts would make me famous and make me big and successful. And so, in addition to seeing my father achieve success, I also believed it was my destiny. I literally believed God called me to this. Jeremiah 29:11 was my absolute favorite Bible verse because he said, "I know the plans I have for you." And I took that seriously. I had faith that success would come and that my future Christian husband would come. And then I waited. I waited for my big break. I waited for the right door to open. I waited for the right man to come along. And shout out to purity culture, I was waiting for marriage. And the big break that felt very inevitable just never really materialized. And don't get me wrong, I've had a lot of opportunities and a lot of things that felt like I was getting very close to my dream. I have gotten to work dream jobs with artists that I admire, and I do not take those for granted at all. But unfortunately, the success that I wanted just continued to elude me. And so did the men that I wanted. But as time went on, the waiting started to create something very unexpected, which was space and time for me to discover who I really am without all of that stuff. I discovered two very powerful things. One, that I could stop waiting for the dream man because I'm actually a lesbian. Two, the waiting period was not filler, it was the story. I'm going to be 35 in just a couple of weeks, and my 30s have brought me revelations that have rewritten my entire life history. Coming out as queer after decades of heteronormative conditioning and Christianity was very life changing, to say the least. It showed me that the slowness had been a gift all along. It gave me the time that I needed to shed identities that no longer fit. And even though I was a late blooming lesbian, I bloomed when I was ready. I'm actually a late bloomer in almost every way imaginable. I was late to questioning the religious framework that I grew up with, late to understanding my sexuality, late to achieving the goals and success that had been prophesied over me. And even when I go back to my birth, I was literally born 2 weeks late. I have always taken my time from birth. But it wasn't until recently that I really started to savor that slowness and to be present in my actual life instead of constantly wishing that it was something else. I'm not letting go of my goals, but I am loosening the grip a bit. I'm attempting to let them breathe and stretch and bloom when they're ready. I think there's a really sacred tension in holding both of those desires at once, living in the present while also not abandoning ambition. Slowness has taught me to crave presence and ritual in my life again. Not the oppressive religious kind that I left behind, but something deeper, more true to me. The practice of pausing and paying attention. If you know about or grew up in the Black church, you will often hear the pastor say, "Can I get a witness?" It's an invitation to communal affirmation, a way of asking the congregation to affirm the truth. to be present with a testimony and say, I see you, I hear you, I feel you. This call and response turns passive observation into active participation, from just an individual experience to collective storytelling. And simply receiving what's unfolding before you, that's what I started to crave as an artist. And let's be honest, it's not easy to find or embody in your daily life. I mean, we live in a world of infinite scroll. We're all addicted to our cell phones. I, for one, am exhausted by the algorithms. I have choice fatigue every time I go to Netflix to watch something. I personally love binging a good TV show, but we literally will binge a whole TV show in one weekend and then forget it the next weekend. And that energy translated into how I approach my career. I just thought, like, I have to get it done now. If I don't get it done now, then I'm a failure. If I don't achieve these goals by a certain age, I'm a failure. And I realized that if I was treating art like just content to get through, how would I expect my career to be any different? I lost the joy of just doing the work and became so focused on accomplishing something. I think as a society, we've lost something essential in that. And I'm at a place now where I'm trying to reclaim that element that was lost. I want to bring ritual back to storytelling. I used to dream of having my own show on a major network, and that would still be an incredible blessing. But then I started thinking, what if I built my own platform? What if I could build a space that embodies the ethos of what I've learned over the past 35 years? A space that treats film and television and art like something to savor, not background noise on our commute to work. A space that prioritizes artists and honors slowness and presence. A space that brings back the reverence that I lost when I left religion. I want to create something different, something new, an invitation to not binge it, but to witness it. Being a late bloomer has inspired me to build a bridge back to storytelling as ceremony. And being a failed Nepo baby has taught me that this system is literally broken for everybody. My father's career showed me what was possible. It gave me a firsthand account of what it looks like when someone makes it. But it is literally like winning the lottery. I've lived both sides of it. I've been the actor who had to pound the pavement and audition and just kept not getting the job. And I've been the celebrity daughter who gets to go to fancy events and network with really cool people. I've struggled financially on my own, and I've also had intermittent support. Everyone deserves a chance to fail and try again. What if we just expanded those systems to support all people, not just Nepo babies? Built into my dream of a slow cinematic ritual is an artist UBI program. I want to give artists money to simply exist with no pressure to create anything. Just the space to breathe and live in that liminal space that gave me so much inspiration. I truly believe that rising tides lift all boats. I want to give other people the opportunities that I got and the opportunities that I didn't get. And I want to collect evidence that when you remove the financial terror of being a starving artist and give people connections and give people resources, creativity flourishes and it benefits everyone. In a way, it's like nepotism for all. Financial security, creative freedom, time to develop what nepotism should provide, but for everyone. I'm starting to think that maybe those childhood prophecies were not about fame or success in the traditional sense, and that maybe it was about this. Maybe I needed to be the failed Nepo baby to learn the value of slowness. Maybe I needed to date men for 30 years to realize that I was queer. Maybe I needed the deconstruction to learn what's worth reconstructing. And the little girl who was told that her dreams were going to change the world, she's still here. She's still creating, she's still dreaming, she's still believing, but she's not waiting for validation anymore. She's not begging a broken system to let her in. She's building a new one for all of us. So stay tuned.